Really interesting. Come here. We could stay all day, but we can't. Two last questions, if I may. A challenging time in your life, perhaps that's an obvious one, but maybe it's not. One moment in your life where you thought, this is too much for me. And then the second question is a highlight in your life that you're willing to share.
I guess the challenging one was the diagnosis. It was what followed. It was, I suppose, what was really challenging about it was managing myself. And that was tough. But once I managed myself, Liam is easy. You know, all he asks for is love. That's his main requirement, is people to love him. So that's certainly my challenge. My highlight, I've had loads of amazing highlights. I think probably apart from the day I married my soulmate, I think one in recent times was getting Liam travelling independently on Dublin Bus when everybody else, the message was given to me loud and clear: he's a safety risk. He doesn't fit the category of trainable on public transport. So I said, no, I'm not accepting that. And if needs be, I'll do it myself.
So it's about what's within your span of control, what's outside of it, and where do you want to go, and what's the direction? If you were to be separated now or divorced, what would you be doing with your life anyway? And also just working and finding out, well, what is it really divorce that's going to make you happier, or was there something else that's been going on that you need to actually work on? So sometimes it's easier to blame the relationship when in fact there's something else that needs to change in their lives. So it's just double checking that before they walk away as well.
I'm sure they can be difficult conversations, particularly if somebody's coming to you hell-bent on divorce and you're asking awkward questions like, maybe the problem isn't him or her.
Well, yeah, I would say that the moment at the kitchen table was definitely a low moment. There was a few other low moments that would probably supersede it, but I don't know if we have time to mention them now. I lost one of my brothers when he was 37 and I was 35. So probably the lowest moment was the phone call I got with that news. And the string, obviously, events that happened after that. High moments is so many. What comes to mind is always like the birth of my kiddies, when you open your eyes and you see this wonder looking at you, and there is an overwhelming intense feeling that is just, it's like all the joy in the world packed into one moment.
I think I've definitely touched on one that was kind of life defining for me, one that was really, really challenging. Again, we've kind of skirted on the outskirts of what that was like, but internally what that was like at that time, how I actually felt. I felt as low as a snake's belly. I didn't know like what was going on. So there was a lot of real kind of dark moments for a long period of time after that event. There's been many more challenges since. As you know, you can get your challenges in life, you get your challenges in business, and it's how you perceive them. And like well, the people that I work with and coach, Colin, some of them are going through real challenges in their business. And what I automatically begin to do is, right, well, let's look at the other side of that. How's that serving you right now? How's that benefiting you right now? How's that helping you grow right now? Where's that giving you resilience? How's that going to pay dividends in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? So I think that for me, that was a major event. There's been other events since.
I want to speak about the moments that came there to break me, and not necessarily came there to break me. They were dark. They were very, very dark, but they gave me enlightenment. And that one of those moments, that's when I walked to work, and the darkest time it was, the lowest time when I came to Ireland first. I couldn't speak language properly. I left quite a good job. I left my friends, no family, nobody to support you. Absolutely, you get nowhere. Or anywhere you go, there is a cul-de-sac. Anywhere you go, you just met up with, people don't understand you. The closest person in my life was my son, and I left him. That was hard. I came to, beside Coca-Cola factory, there was a big billboard. There was no loose. There was no loose at the time. There was a huge, big billboard. And it was like a blind thing. I was walking to work and I was so low. And the traffic light, you need to press the button for the traffic light. And I pressed the button and I raised my eyes to see the light, obviously, to cross the road to work. And the slot changed on a big billboard, and this big black screen with the black stuff on it, with a harp, and it says believe. So that very dark moment will always stay with me.
Wow. Wow. I am very grateful that you went there.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful that you went there, because I said to you before we started recording, Angela, that your journey will help somebody. I believe that what we're doing here today, we'll put it out there to the World Wide Web, and the universe will dictate whose ears it gets to, right? And somebody out there needs to hear those last 2 minutes. They were beautiful. Sorry that you went through it, but you did go through it. You survived it. You've thrived since, and you're helping lots of people. So thank you for sharing that. Right, bring us back up. A highlight, a moment in your life where you said, okay.
Highlight.
There's a lot going on. The only way to get it out of your head is through the pen. And I would encourage anybody who's going through any challenging time is to take pen to paper. And sometimes people say to me, but I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. That's what you write. I don't know what to say right now, but, and keep going. Take your pen for a walk.
The pen is mightier than the sword. Isn't that a phrase from way back? The pen is mightier than the sword. Love it. And what did you write when you were 7?
I used to write bullet points of the things I didn't like. And then what I could do to make sure that that wasn't going to happen again. But, I got involved in situations, Colin, that I shouldn't have been in. I was the parent in the house. I was trying to help my little brother. I also was trying to keep the show going, Keep the jazz hands going. The blonde, cute little Nicola at the door, A
lot of responsibility for a 7-year-old, Nick.
Lot of responsibility, and younger again, Colin. But luckily, I do feel like my father's mother, who I never met, she passed away just before I was born. I do believe that she stood behind me the whole time.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
And I believe that genuinely.
And how well, you obviously said you never met her, so how come she featured in your thinking?
I remember when I was very young, my mum saying to me that when I was about 3 months old, my father was on night work. The cot was beside my mum's bed. She was in the house on her own. It was only me and her. And my mum was a very spiritual woman when she was alive, very spiritual woman when she was younger, not when she got older. And she said that she thought the house had been broken into because she could feel pressure on the end of the bed. She could feel somebody sitting on her feet. And when she looked over the covers, she saw her dead mother-in-law peering in at the cot at me because I was her first grandchild.
Right.
So
Wow.
she was very, very, very taken aback by that. But when I was young, actually, I'm coming back with a memory now. When I was younger, like tiny, and chaos would be going on in my house, and I would interject and do all the things and whatever. But when I'd eventually go back to bed, when I would close my eyes, I would see this luminous green circle of light is all I could call it, but it was a luminous green. And as soon as I saw that green light, I was straight off asleep. And I thought everybody saw this, Colin. I thought everybody saw this green light to make them go asleep. And it was only when I got older and I started researching, that colour green is representative of the heart chakra of pure love. It's what pure love actually means. And I believe wholeheartedly, send me the man in the white coats right now, I don't care, but I believe this. I believe that my nanny, Nana Conley, was sending me that so that I could sleep.